She flew planes that terrified male pilots. The Nazis called her their secret weapon, but one mission almost killed her. Hanna Reitsch broke every rule in the sky. She tested aircraft no one else would touch. Hitler himself gave her a personal mission. Then she attempted something that changed history forever. What she did in Berlin's final days still shocks experts today. Hanna Reitsch was born in 1912 in Germany. She loved flying more than anything else in the world. There was a big problem. Women were not allowed to be pilots back then. People said flying was only for men. Hanna did not care what people said. She started with gliders. These are planes with no engines. They float on the wind like birds. Hanna was a natural. She could feel the air around her. She knew exactly how to control the glider. By age 20, she was breaking records. She flew higher than any woman before her. She flew longer distances too. Newspapers wrote stories about her. People called her fearless. Then the German military noticed her skills. They had a special job in mind. It was dangerous. Most pilots would say no, but Hanna said yes. She had no idea what she was getting into. What the military wanted would change her life forever. The year was 1937. Germany was building new weapons. They needed test pilots. These pilots would fly experimental aircraft. Many of these planes were not safe. Some had never flown before. Hanna became Germany's first female test pilot. She was the only woman doing this job. The male pilots respected her. She could fly anything they gave her. Her first big test was a helicopter. Helicopters were brand new back then. Nobody understood how they worked. The controls were confusing. The machine shook violently. It could crash at any second. Hanna climbed into the cockpit anyway. She lifted off the ground. The helicopter wobbled left and right. She stayed calm. She learned how to control it. After many flights, she mastered it completely. Then she did something incredible. She flew the helicopter inside a building. It was a huge sports arena. Thousands of people watched. No one had ever seen anything like it, but her most dangerous mission was still ahead. World War II started in 1939. Germany needed better weapons fast. They created secret aircraft projects. These planes were experimental and deadly. Many test pilots died trying to fly them. Hanna volunteered for the most dangerous tests. She flew rockets. She flew jets. She flew planes that fell apart in midair. Every flight could be her last. One plane was called the Me-163. It was a rocket-powered fighter. It went incredibly fast. Faster than any plane at that time. But it had major problems. The fuel was extremely toxic. It could burn through metal. If it touched your skin, you would die. The plane was also unstable. It could spin out of control instantly. Hanna flew it anyway. On her fifth test flight, something went wrong. The nose of the plane dropped suddenly. She could not pull it up. The ground was coming fast. She was about to crash. Hanna crashed hard. The plane hit the runway at full speed. Metal twisted and broke apart. She was thrown forward violently. Her skull fractured in 6 places. Her jaw was shattered. Her nose was crushed. Doctors thought she would die. They performed emergency surgery. She was in a coma for weeks. Her family said goodbye. They did not think she would wake up, but Hanna survived. 5 months later, she walked out of the hospital. Her face was permanently damaged. She needed more surgeries. The pain never fully went away. Most people would quit after that. Not Hanna. She wanted to fly again. The military said no at first. They thought she was too injured. She kept asking. She kept pushing. Finally, they let her test fly again. She proved she could still do it. She was tougher than anyone expected. Then Adolf Hitler personally called for her. He had a special mission. Hitler wanted a secret weapon. Something that could change the war. German scientists created the V-1 flying bomb. It was like a missile with wings. It flew by itself to the target. Then it exploded, but the V-1 was inaccurate. It missed targets often. Hitler wanted a piloted version. A human would fly it directly into the target. It was a suicide mission. Hanna volunteered immediately. She helped design the cockpit. She tested how a pilot could control it. She knew the pilot would die. She accepted that risk. She flew test missions in modified versions. Every flight was extremely dangerous. The plane was fast and unstable. One wrong move meant instant death. Hanna believed she was helping her country. She thought this weapon would save Germany. She was willing to die for this mission. Luckily for her, the program was cancelled. But another deadly mission was coming. This one would trap her in Berlin. It was April 1945. World War II was ending. Germany was losing badly. Soviet troops surrounded Berlin. The city was being destroyed. Bombs fell constantly. Buildings burned everywhere. Hitler was trapped in his underground bunker. He could not escape. The Soviets were closing in. Everyone thought Hitler would be captured soon. Then Hanna did the impossible. She flew into Berlin. Soviet anti-aircraft guns filled the sky. Thousands of bullets flew past her plane. She dodged them all. She landed on a destroyed street near the bunker. She went underground to meet Hitler. He looked defeated and broken. He knew the war was lost. Hanna stayed in the bunker for days. Bombs shook the walls constantly. There was no food. No water. The air was thick and hard to breathe. She needed to escape. But how? The Soviets controlled everything above ground. Flying out seemed absolutely impossible, yet somehow, she had a plan. Hanna knew she had one chance. She found a small plane hidden near the bunker. It was damaged but could still fly. Barely. On April 26, she took off. Soviet soldiers shot at her immediately. Bullets hit the plane. The engine started smoking. She flew as low as possible. Between buildings. Under bridges, she flew through the smoke and fire. Explosions happened all around her. The plane shook violently. She thought she would die any second, but she made it out. She escaped Berlin. She flew to German-controlled territory. When she landed, people could not believe it. She had survived the impossible. Days later, Hitler killed himself in the bunker. Germany surrendered. The war was over. Hanna was captured by American forces. She was interrogated for months. They asked her everything about Hitler. About the secret weapons. About her missions. What happened to her next shocked everyone. Hanna was released in 1946. She was not charged with war crimes. The Allies decided she was just a pilot. Not a Nazi leader, but her reputation was destroyed. Many Germans hated her. They said she supported Hitler. They said she was a Nazi. She lost everything. Hanna spent years defending herself. She wrote a book about her life. She said she only cared about flying. Not politics. Many people did not believe her. She kept flying anyway. She set new gliding records in the 1950s. She flew in other countries. India. Ghana. United States. She taught others how to fly. Hanna Reitsch died in 1979. She was 67 years old. Some called her a hero. Others called her a villain. The truth was complicated. She was one of the most skilled pilots in history. But she flew for the wrong side. Her story remains controversial today. That is how this pilot became Germany's most famous female test pilot. Hanna Reitsch remains one of history's most controversial aviation pioneers. She broke test flight records nobody thought possible. As the first female helicopter pilot, she changed aviation forever. Her World War II story as a German test pilot still divides opinion today. Was she simply a fearless woman aviator following her passion? Or something darker? Drop your thoughts below. Hit subscribe for more untold history. You won't believe what we cover next.